Good morning. It's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. So a couple of weeks ago, I was doing video thoughts for the day, and I did a week on marks of a Christian. How will people know just by looking that they're dealing with a Christian? And it were the positive things of us loving and all of these other traits that should be found in the life of a Christian. This week, I thought I might do kind of the opposite. And what struck me this week was coming across a fella who is a pretty outspoken fella, claiming his Christian faith and trying to teach the world about it. But in the midst of this political season, perhaps that's what got the best of him. This fella was actually kind of rude. I would go so far as to say not kind of rude. This fella was rude. And it's almost as if he thought that being right gave him the license to be rude. He was absolutely convinced he was right on what he had to say, and it caused him to become quite, I don't know a better word than just rude to people that didn't agree with him. And, you know, when I was listening to him and thinking through all of that, the phrase that reverberated in my head, which becomes my theme this week, was 3 words. That ain't right. I mean, that ain't right. A Christian is not supposed to be rude to anyone. Christians don't have a license to be rude, even if they think they're correct. The Bible teaches us in one of the most central passages that explains Christian life, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Paul says we're supposed to love, and that love is not just optional. It's what makes the difference between our lives being effective and fruitful or just being noisy. He says, if I could speak in the tongues of angels, if I had the ability to work all kinds of miracles, but I don't have love, I'm just taking up space and making wasted noise. And he defines love. He says that love is not arrogant and it's not rude. So when Jesus teaches us to love our enemies as well as each other, and love's not supposed to be rude, it's pretty clear we're not supposed to be rude to people. We're not supposed to incite strife. We live in a day where some people seem to just thrive on strife, setting one group against another, pitting one person in a good camp, one person in a bad camp, or one group in a good camp and one group in a bad camp. And I wonder if these folks have read the Proverbs that are in the Bible. Proverbs 10 verse 12. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all offenses. See, we're not to be rude. We're not to be arrogant. We're not to be haughty. We're supposed to do what it was told by Paul in 1 Timothy 2, where Paul told Timothy to lead a peaceful and a quiet life. This is not rude. This is godly and dignified in every way, Paul said. And this is a passage where Paul tells him to pray and to intercede for all people. So what's the bottom line on the thought for the day today? I want to work really hard on living with humility and love, showing courtesy, showing respect, listening to everybody, even if I think they're plumb wrong and I'm right. That's the way I want to live. And that's your video thought for the day. Tomorrow, we'll look at another thing that I just look at and I say, well, that ain't right. See you tomorrow.